And a good Monday afternoon. Welcome to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you. Thanks for joining me today for Bronx baseball. Today, the Bronx back on the home field here at Laux Park, and their opponent, the Cimarron Blue Jays. The Bronx 3-8, winners of their last two. Cimarron, they are 2-9 on the season, and after starting the season off with 2 wins, they have lost 9 straight. So the Bronx and Cimarron Blue Jays seem to be going opposite directions here in the latter part of our season. Tonight is senior night. In between the two games, the seniors will be recognized, and we'll have that for you prior to the start of game number 2. We'll be back on the air to air the senior night introductions as well. Before we got things started here this afternoon, we had a chance to talk to Bronx head coach Steve Davidson. When we come back, we'll let you take a listen. We'll be back right after this. Thanks for joining us for Bronx Baseball.
Home improvements that have had to wait. The dream vacation your family deserves. Even college tuition. Garden City State Bank can help you make it all happen now, not someday. With a home equity line of credit, you can borrow up to 90% of the value of your home, and the interest may be tax deductible. Plus, there are no closing costs, no application fees, and no annual fees. A fast, easy, convenient home equity line of credit from Garden City State Bank, a branch of the Kearney County Bank. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you. We're getting set for senior night here at Laux Park as the Bronx hosts the Cimarron Blue Jays in non-league action here this afternoon. The Bronx come in 3-8 on the season. The Blue Jays coming in 2-9. So something has got to give here this afternoon. We're now joined by Bronx head coach Steve Davidson, and you made the comment before we went on the air that it seems like it's been a long time since you've been back here on the home field, and I tell you what, anymore, it just seems like even if you're on the road for a week, it seems like it's forever to get back.
Yeah, it is. Last week we got rained out, which, we definitely need the rain. We'll take that, but we didn't play last week, and the week before we only had a 4-inning game that we had to make up there at Southwestern Heights. So it's been a while since we played on any field, let alone here in Lakin.
Sometimes you talk about last week being off, and of course, it's to the point anymore. I think a person would sacrifice a game to get the rain that we had last week, though.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't know sometimes with a team if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You get a chance to rest players. They get a chance to rest some sore arms, some sore legs, or something like that. But I also think repetition also keeps a team strong as well, and that's just something maybe they lost last week.
Yeah, we obviously need work. We have struggled catching the ball and throwing the ball, and in a couple of days we couldn't get outside. We did get to hit. At least we got an indoor cage, which makes a big difference. And we actually get a lot of tee work, a lot of soft toss work, a lot of swings where they're not worried about a pitcher, and we need that with our ball. So, I told them a little bit ago, guys, we worked really good last week. We did a lot of good stuff. Now let's make sure we carry that over to the game, because when you step in the box, you got to see the ball, hit the ball. You can't be thinking about 10 different things. So hopefully we can carry that over.
Yeah, exactly. As I mentioned, tonight is senior night, and maybe a little bit of a luxury, not so much maybe as far as senior leadership, not as strong number-wise this year, but just 3 seniors that are going to play their final home game here tonight. But I guess it's good for the future because you've got youth coming back. But your seniors tonight, Eden White, Caden Mings, and Brock Pata, their final games.
Yeah, Caden and Eden have put in their 4 years. They've worked hard. They've improved. Helped us out a lot this year and last year. And it's like I say, it's with your seniors. It's hard to believe. That's 4 years goes that fast. And I'm sure they're saying the same thing. And definitely with me, as I get older, years go a whole lot faster. And Brock's been with us part time the last 3 years, so. And he's improved a lot too, and he's going to get a little chance to play tonight. Doesn't play a lot of varsity, but he'll get some tonight.
And what's sad, though, is anytime you look at senior night, you look at players that have contributed 4 years, but due to the pandemic, these guys only got 3 years in.
Yeah, that's right. Their freshman year, we didn't have a season, so
yeah,
that is true. So, but yeah, again, it's with seniors. Like I say, with me, I guess they kind of come and go. But as I think about it more, they really mean a lot to the program because. We've had a program for a long time, and you want your seniors to be your leaders. You want them to teach the freshmen the right way to do things, and and these guys have done a pretty good job of that.
Bronx come in, they're batting 340 as a team, and it seems like this team has been, I think one of the problems or that I have seen when the few games that I've covered is trying to just get runs in when you have runners in scoring position. Can't get that timely hit. You'll get guys on base, but just it's just a chore to get it to advance them and get them to score.
Yeah, we've struggled with the big hit for sure, and we've had the right guys up there several times too. But we've left the bases loaded many times, or get a leadoff double and leave him on second base, just things like that. And we've talked about that the last few days. So, like I said, we've had good practices, the last week. I just hope we can carry it over. I got a good feeling. I think some good things will happen tonight.
And looking at the runs scored this year, Bronx have played 11 games. They've only scored 61 runs, so just a little over 5.5 runs per game. And that makes it awful hard, especially I don't care even how good a pitching staff you have, any team. If you're only scoring 5 runs a game, that puts a burden even on an undefeated pitching staff, which Bronx are 3-8. But I think that puts a little bit more pressure on maybe the pitchers have to be, try to be more successful.
Yeah, it does. And in high school, number one, you got to put it in play because there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be errors. We've made too many so far. Hopefully, we'll clean that up a little bit. And the pitchers have consistently got better throughout the year. The first few games really struggled throwing strikes. Hopefully, we had a real good bullpen last Thursday throwing to our own guys. Hopefully, again, that carries over to the game. We'll see. I think it will, though.
Pitching tonight, Bodie McCormick, I would say he's going to pitch, start game one.
He's starting game one, yes.
And then the seniors will be recognized in between 2 games. Who are you looking for game 2?
That depends on what happens, honestly. Game 1, I don't know. Maybe could be Drew. I'm probably looking at Drew Patterson. Maybe start game 2.
See how it goes. Throw names in a hat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like you said when you came up, a beautiful day for baseball finally here at Laux Park. And I tell you what, the field is looking nice, but seems like we struggle to get nice games. Now we get to the end of the season. Now here we are getting nice, and it's almost done.
Yeah, finally. Because again, even practice last couple weeks has been a struggle with the wind blowing and everything else, but. We'll take this every day. This is beautiful today.
Well, and the thing about it is, you get later in the season, you expect the weather to get nicer, but games become more magnified at the end of the year, and especially when you go into regionals. And of course, anything can happen when you go to regionals, but you don't ever want to have weather be a factor when games are, when it becomes critical, the games are on the line, and it's a win or go home situation.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we've certainly had some of those this year, but shouldn't be today. Ought
to be great. Your opponent, Cimarron, coming in here struggling as a little bit as well, but I'm sure they've got some things on the back of their mind because the Bronx. They were the number 1 seed in the regional last year, and the Bronx knocked them off in the first round. That goes back to what I said. Anything can happen anytime you play the game.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. And, that was a big win for us last year. And, actually, we've won our last 2 games this year. We won our last game at Sublette. We won down at Heights. So, we're on a two-game winning streak. So, we want to keep that going.
All it takes is 2 to have a streak. So, Coach, once again, it's a beautiful day. Bronx and Blue Jays. Looking forward to it as always. Thanks for taking the time to come up and visit with me. And enjoy senior night. And we'll talk to you when we're done. How's that?
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Appreciate it, Steve. That's Bronx head coach Steve Davidson as Bronx gets set to host the Cimarron Blue Jays here at Laux Park on senior night. Well, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups for you right here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Don't go away.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at the one and only fantastic Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com. Red Ripsimo established the Lakin Dairy in 1997 and is now a leading producer of high-quality milk for human consumption. The Lakin Dairy is proud to be a big part of the Kearney County economy and community. With fantastic, dedicated, and hard-working employees, the Lakin Dairy prospers in the heart of, as Fred calls it, the Midwest Feed Shed. Always supporting the Lakin High School students, the Lakin Dairy, a verified premium operation, is honored to call Kearney County home at lakindairy.com on the internet.
And welcome back to Lake and Bronx Sports YouTube. We're set for baseball action here at Loucks Park. The Bronx hit the field. And here's the defensive alignment for the Bronx. At third base is Malachi Acevedo. At shortstop, Armando Salcido. Drew Patterson at second. And Eden White at first base. In the outfield, Gabe Coxon left. Alex Luce in center. And Eli Bemis in right field. Doing the catching is Adrian Gomez. And on the mound for the Bronx is Bodie McCormick. The junior is 1-2 on this season. With a 7.93 ERA, he's pitched 15 innings, has given up 17 earned runs on 15 hits. He's walked 32 and struck out 18. Trace Copper will lead it off for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays as a team batting .283, Copper batting .259 from the right side. And we are underway with the first pitch at 3:59 here this afternoon. Gorgeous day for baseball here at Loucks Park. It's been a long time coming. 1-0 pitch fouled back and a count 1-1 to the Blue Jays leadoff hitter. First of two games here this afternoon. In between games tonight is senior night, so the three senior baseball players will be recognized, and I believe senior golf will be recognized as well. That pitch was high for ball two. Leighton Simon follows. He'll be followed by Peyton Dye. From the windup, here's the 2-1, and that's fouled back. Count evens 2-2. Blue Jays 2-9 on the season. They won their first two games of the year, have lost 9 straight. Bodie with the windup. Pitches to the screen. And the count is full at 3-2. Payoff pitch. Fisted up the first base line, foul. Count remains 3-2. Bronx outfield's shaded slightly towards left field. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Copper down on strikes for one away. That'll bring up Leighton Simon. Simon batting .357 on the season. Has scored 9 runs, has driven in 9, has a triple to his credit, bats from the right side. Bodie with the pitch, a line shot into center, lands in front of Luce for a hit.
Next up, number 11, Peyton Dye.
Brings up the catcher, Peyton Dye. Dye batting .407. Takes the first pitch in at the knees for strike one. Bodie from the stretch. Snap throw. Ooh. He said he got under, but I'll tell you what, that's a nice move by Bodie McCormick. I thought they had him. Simon was definitely leaning, and that was about as perfect a spot you could put the pickoff throw. Here's the 0-1. Runner is off. Swing and a miss. So stolen base for Simon. Dye is down in the count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch, breaking pitch right back off Bodie's glove. The only play will be first. Patterson in on the grass for the out. Simon goes to third on the play. 4-3 on the put out. And that'll bring up Breck Aberhoff.
Next up, number 13, Breck Aberhoff.
Batting .263 on the season. Has driven in 2, has a runner in scoring position with Simon at third base. Aberhoff, a left-handed hitter with 1 on, 2 outs. Line shot foul. 0-1. Bodie here in the early going doing a good job of getting ahead of the hitters. And that one's inside. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. On the inside corner for strike 2. Bodie the sign from Adric. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside. And the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bodie with a 7.93 ERA hangs the breaking pitch wide for ball 3, and the count is full. And it hit him.
Next up for Cimarron, number 5, Oliver Spencer.
Now bring up the right fielder, Spencer. Oliver batting just .105 on the season from the right side. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Bodie bluffed the throw to first, and first to third, and then back to first. Both runners weren't going anywhere. Pitch over the head of Spencer. He ducks out of the way for ball 1. No pitch, swung on and missed. Counts even. Alex Schlesinger in the on-deck circle if Spencer can keep this inning alive for the Blue Jays. We're just underway, top of the first, no score. And that's to the screen. And Simon slides in safely. That'll go as a wild pitch as Aberhoff goes to second. Pitch popped straight back. Adric off with the mask, but it will be out of play. And count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. Ball is in the dirt. Adric will throw to first in time for the out. So a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. And that's it for the Blue Jays here in the first inning. They do get a run on one hit. They strand a base runner. And no Bronc errors. After 1/2 inning, it's the Blue Jays 1, the Broncs, coming up right after this. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Broncs trailing 1-0. Here's the Broncs lineup. Drew Patterson will lead off. He'll be followed by Armando Salcido at shortstop. Batting third, the catcher Adric Gomez. Batting fourth, the left fielder Gabe Cox. Batting fifth at first base, Eden White. Batting sixth in center field, Alex Luce. Batting seventh in right field, Eli Bemis. Batting eighth and designated hitter Caden Mings, and batting ninth at third base, Malachi Acevedo. Trace Copper takes the hill for the Blue Jays. He is 0-2 on this season with an 8.27 ERA in 4 appearances. Copper has walked 13, struck out 11, has given up 17 runs, 13 of those earned. Drew Patterson comes to the plate to lead it off for the Broncs.
Up first for the Broncs, number 2, Drew Patterson.
Patterson batting .382 on the season. Bats from the right side. Pops the first pitch back and out of play for strike one. Copper looks in for the sign from Peyton Dye, his catcher. And just like pitch number one, pitch number two fouled straight back and out of play. Fouled back. Drew stays alive with the 0-2 count. Around the infield for the Blue Jays, Zach Lopez at third, Leighton Simon at short, Colby Wilson at second, Breck Aberhoff at first base. We'll look at the outfield here in a minute. That went over the head of Patterson. Schlesinger in left field, Heddleston in center, Oliver Spencer in right, and Drew fouls that one back and out of play once again. Doing the catching for the Blue Jays is Peyton Dye. Trace Copper making his 5th appearance. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the first inning. Takes high for ball 2. Count is even, 2-2. Copper from the stretch. Low in the dirt, count is full. Copper 3-2 pitch. Patterson lifts it high in the infield. Shortstop at the edge of the grass makes the play for out number 1. That'll bring up Armando Salcedo.
Next for the Bronx, number 1.
Armando batting .312 on this season. Has 2 doubles. Armando swings and misses down in the count 0-1. Adric Gomez on deck for the Bronx. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swinging, strike 2. Taking high for ball 2, and the count now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big gap in right center field. The center fielder Heddleston playing over towards left. Breaking pitch stayed up, and the count is full to the Bronx shortstop, Armando Salcedo. Copper looks in, payoff pitch, stays high for ball 4, and a 1-out walk for Salcedo. Brings up Adric Gomez, the catcher.
20, Adric Gomez.
Adric batting .419 on the season. Bats from the right side. Salcedo a small lead at first. Now steps out another step. Adric takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Gabe Cox on deck. And Adric fouls that one back and out of play. And he's down in the count 0-2. Might have reached at ball 1 there. Snap throw to first, Armando back standing. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch inside. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. 353 down the left field line here at Loucks Park. It's 380 to dead center field and 300 to right field. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Salcedo off on the pitch. It is low. And a stolen base for Salcedo. 2-2 the count to Adric. Now the runner in scoring position. Line shot right at the center fielder. 4-2 away. Brings up Gabe Cox.
At the plate, number 5, Gabe Cox.
Cox batting .486 on the season. Has driven in 10. Tied for the team lead in that category. Takes high for ball 1. Inside once again, ball 2. Armando Salcedo drew a 1-out walk and stands at second base with 2 outs here in the home half of the first. Pitch is in the dirt. Gloved nicely there by Peyton Dye. Count 3 balls, no strikes to Gabe Cox. Eden White on deck. Pitch from Trace Copper. Cox taking all the way for strike 1. Pitch looked high, delayed call, but it's strike two and the count is full. Copper checks the runner. Here's the payoff pitch. And swinging Cox down on strikes for 3 away. Bronx no runs, no hits. They strand a base runner. And no Cimarron errors. After one complete, the score. Cimarron 1. The Bronx, nothing. We go to the second inning. We'll be back after this.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
Go to the top of the second inning. Leading it off for the Blue Jays will be the left fielder, Alex Lessiner. Leans out of the way of the first strike. First pitch from Bodie McCormick for ball one. Ground ball foul past third. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Schlesinger batting .312 on the season. Bodie from the windup. Here's the 1-1. Stays high for ball 2. On the outside corner, count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch freezes him for strike number 3 and out number 1. The third strikeout so far on the night for Bodie McCormick. I'll bring up the center fielder, Logan Heddleston. He'll be followed by Zach Lopez. Lazy fly ball up the third base line in foul territory. Armando just can't quite get there. And it's strike 1. Thought with maybe with Armando's speed, he was going to be able to run that down, but what little breezes here just kept pushing it away from him. Heddleston bats from the left side. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Heddleston down on strikes. That's 2 away.
Up next is number 12, Zach Lopez.
Brings up Lopez, the third baseman. Lopez batting .316. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to count. Oh, 1 pitch, swung on in the dirt, and the count is 0-2. Bodie from the line looks in for the sign. 0-2 breaking pitch and froze him. Bodie McCormick strikes out the side. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no Buddy left, and no errors. After 1.5, it's the Blue Jays 1, Bronx nothing. We'll be back after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball. on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Eden White leads it off for the Bronx in the bottom of the second inning. Bronx trail at 1-0. Eden, one of three seniors here this afternoon. Eden, Caden Mings, and Brock Potta. The three seniors. Copper looks in from the stretch. White lines it foul up the right field line. Here's the 0-1. Stayed high. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Luce on deck. He'll be followed by Eli Bemis. Pitch in the dirt. 2-1. Coach Steve Davidson, the coach up the third base line in his 27th year at the helm of the Bronx. Breaking pitch just a little bit low, and the count goes 3-1. And Eden taking all the way for ball 4. And a leadoff walk. Brings up Alex Luce.
Next for the Bronx, number 13, Alex
Luce batting 190 on the season. Luce with the bunt out in front. They'll go to second for 1. Not with Alex's speed. You won't double him, but they do get the lead runner. 1-6. And Luce with the fielder's choice is safe at first.
11, Eli Bemis.
Brings up the right fielder, Eli Bemis. Bemis batting 286. Freshman bats from the right side. Takes for strike 1. Caden Mings on deck. Swing and a miss. And Eli down in count 0-2. Luce with a good lead at first. And he's off on the pitch. And a line shot into the right center field gap. Luce around second. He'll head to third. And Bemis at first after the single. So the Bronx now with runners at the corners, 1 out for Caden Mings, the designated hitter.
Caden Mings.
Caden batting 231 on the year. Has driven in 2 runs, has an opportunity here with Luce at third base with 1 out in the second. As we talked with Coach Steve Davidson in our pregame, that's been one of the problems with the Bronx is getting runs across in scoring position. This team only averages 5.7 points per run. 5.7 runs per game, excuse me. Not what I say, it's what I mean. And I don't even know what I meant there. Fake to third, snap throw to first, Bemis back in. us a good lead at first. Here's the 0-1. Mings taking on the outside corner for strike two. Here's the 0-2. Mings swings and misses. Bemis steals second base without a throw. And the strikeout, 4-2 away. Brings up Malachi Acevedo. Malachi looking for his first hit of the season. He's only had 2 plate appearances. Takes that one low for ball one. And it hit him. And that loads the bases for Drew Patterson.
At the plate, number 2, Drew Patterson.
Patterson flied out to the shortstop. His first time up, just at the edge of the outfield grass. Base hit here could give the Bronx the lead. They trail at 1-0. Line shot into center field. Heddleston right there for the out. And the Bronx leave them loaded. Bronx no runs. 1 hit, 3 left. And no Cimarron errors. Through 2 innings, the Bronx have stranded 4 runners. They trail at 1-0 as we go to the 3rd inning. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball.
It's time to get involved with the Lakin Recreation Commission, 702 North Campbell in Lakin. The Lakin Rec Commission with a wellness center, aerobics, adult programs, youth programs, sewing, and more. For more information about all the great activities of the Lakin Rec Commission, call 620-355-7039. The Lakin Recreation Commission, providing recreational opportunities to enhance the quality of life for the people of the community by promoting social interaction and the productive use of leisure time.
We go to the 3rd inning. Leading off for the Blue Jays will be Colby Wilson. Then back to the top of the lineup for Trace Copper and Leighton Simon. Lady Bronx softball team on the road today, taking on Cimarron Ingles. They are in Ingles this afternoon. Lady Bronx will be back home tomorrow with a rescheduled matchup against Hugoton. The first pitch is behind the hitter, back to the screen. Count 1-0. There's the 1-0 pitch, high for ball 2. And as of right now, we are planning to broadcast these softball games tomorrow afternoon. And as always, that can change with a silly thing called a job. Pitch is high, and the count is 3-0 to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 3rd. Wilson taking for strike 1. Count 3-1. Tried to check, but went around, and the count now full. Cimarron 1 run on 1 hit. They stranded a base runner through 2 innings. Bronx no runs on 1 hit. And that pitch is high for ball 4. A leadoff walk to Colby Wilson.
Up next for Cimarron, number 1, Trace Copper.
Copper, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Taking just a bit high for ball 1. Inside for ball 2. Snap throw to first. Ball gets away from Eden, but not far enough for the runner to advance. And the count is 3-0. Bodie McCormick cruised through the first 2 innings. Now struggling here to start the third after walking the leadoff hitter. Is behind in the count 3-0 to the leadoff guy. And that's a 4-pitch walk. So back-to-back walks, and the Blue Jays have runners at first and second, nobody out.
Up next for Cimarron, number 24, Lakin Simon.
Meeting on the hill is over. Brings up Leighton Simon. Simon with the only Cimarron hit thus far. A 1-out single in the first inning. Pitch from McCormick. High for ball 1. One 1-0 pitch. Line shot into right field. And it's past the right fielder. Wilson will score. Copper will be held at third. I think Copper went back to retouch second base. I think he missed it as he rounded. Went back to touch, or you would have thought he could have scored easily on that play.
At the plate, number 11, Peyton Dye.
Runner on his way to second will steal it without a throw. Ball 1 to count. Dye grounded out to the second baseman his first time up to 1-0. Just missed for ball 2. Runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the third. Still nobody out. And the line shot loose. Dropped it. And the run will race up the line and score.
At the plate for Cimarron, number 13, Breck Averhoff.
That'll bring up Averhoff, the first baseman. 2 walks, a single, and an error. And the Blue Jays have scored 2 here. Low and in the dirt, gets past Adric as the runners advance. And that'll go as a wild pitch. And a 1-ball count. Bodie's 1-0 pitch. Into left center field. Cox with it. Runner tags and will score. Sac fly for Averhoff. And the RBI. Dye stays at second base.
Up next for Cimarron, number 5, Oliver Spencer.
Bodie checks the runner. Fouled at the plate for strike 1. Oliver Spencer at the plate. 0-1 the count. McCormick from the stretch. And a strike on the outside corner. Ball gets past Adric as Dye goes to third. That'll go as a pass ball. And the count 1-2. Breaking pitch popped up in foul ground. Eden makes the play. And that's 2 away.
Up next, number 21, Alex Schlesinger.
Schlesinger comes to the plate. Runner at third, 2 outs. Blue Jays have scored 3 in the inning. Low and outside for ball 1. And that is low for ball 2. Logan Heddleston on deck. Pitch was a strike. Here it's a 2-1. And now the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schlesinger a strikeout victim in the second inning. Bodie has 5 strikeouts. And that one's way outside. Adric, nice job to keep that from going to the screen and letting another run score. Count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got him on strikes, 4-3 away. But the Blue Jays do the damage. They score 3 runs on 1 hit. They strand a base runner. And there was 1 Bronc error. We go to the bottom of the third. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Bronx nothing. We're taking a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball.
The Ranch House community is here to assist with skilled rehab, long-term care, and assisted living. We offer a serene atmosphere, dedicated staff, delectable dining, and daily activities. The Ranch House is here to serve our communities. Please review our site at midwest-health.com/ranchhouse/ or call 620-371-4700 to schedule your tour today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Leading it off in the bottom of the third for the Bronx will be Armando Salcido. Will be followed by Adric Gomez and Gabe Cox. And if anybody gets on, Eden White. Trace Copper back to the hill for the Blue Jays. First pitch to Armando's high for ball 1. Armando with a walk his first time up. Blue Jays 4 runs on 2 hits. Armando taking outside for ball 1. 2-1 to count to Salcedo. Low and inside. Count 3-1. And that's outside for ball 4. So the second walk on the afternoon for Armando Salcedo. And that brings up Adric Gomez. Adric flied out to the center fielder his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And Gabe Cox in the on deck circle. Pitch low and outside for ball 1. Runner off on the pitch, a slow roller. Third baseman over. He will throw to first and throws in time. Salcedo out, over to second on the ground out.
Up next for the Bronx, number 5, Gabe Cox.
5-3 on the put out. Brings up Gabe Cox. Cox a strikeout victim his first time up. Ground ball towards second. Salcedo on his way to third. On the short hop, Wilson over to first in time. And that's 2 away. That brings up Eden White.
At the plate, number 24, Eden White.
White walked his last time up. Runner at third, 2 outs. Trace Copper with the pitch. Eden ducks out of the way for ball 1. High for ball 2. Two-0 pitch fouled at the plate. And it's 2-1. Two-one pitch, a slow roller up the third base side. Copper picks it. Oh, they said it was foul at the plate. I went back and looked at the replay. I can't really tell that well from that angle, but breaking pitch and froze him for out number 3. Bronx strand another run scoring opportunity. No runs, no hits. They strand a base runner and no Cimarron errors. Bronx have stranded 5 through 3 innings. They trail it 4-0 as we go to the 4th inning. We're back after this.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
We go to the 4th inning. Leading off for the Blue Jays will be Logan Heddleston and be followed by Lopez and then Wilson. Cimarron 4 runs on 2 hits. They've stranded 2 base runners. Bronx no runs on 1 hit. They've stranded 5 through 3 innings. Bronx have committed an error. Heddleston, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Bodie McCormick with 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. Back to the hill. Roller towards third. And the throw in time by Acevedo. 5-3 on the putout. That brings up Zach Lopez. Lopez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. High pop foul. Falls for strike 1. Bodie from the windup looks in. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball right back to the mound. Bodie bobbles. Will throw to first in time. Almost waited too long, but got the out. 1-3 on a putout for 2 away. That brings up Colby Wilson.
Up next for Cimarron, number 10, Colby Wilson.
Wilson led off the 3rd inning with a walk and scored the first of 3 runs in that inning. Bats now with nobody on here in the top of the 4th. And that one's high for ball 1. Outside for ball 2. And that one behind the batter for ball 3. We know the count. Bodie looks in. And that's high for ball 4. So Wilson walks for the 2nd time here this afternoon.
Up next for the
And that brings up Trace Copper. Copper 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. Has scored a run. Runner at first, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Breaking pitch stays high for ball 1. Bodie's 1-0 pitch popped up on the infield. Adric off with the mask. Bodie in foul territory makes the play. And that'll do it for the Blue Jays in the 4th. No runs. No hits. They strand a base runner. No Bronc errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Bronx trail it 4-0. We'll be back right after this.
Oh, this stupid When it's time to do that welding, don't do it yourself and make a mess out of it. Call Hendricks Professional Welding Service in Lakin. On the farm, on the ranch, or at your place, or at Hendricks Welding 3 miles west of Lakin. Welding done right the professional way. Call Brad Hendricks at Hendricks Welding at 355-6734. That's Hendricks Welding. Don't do it yourself and make a mess. Just call old Brad.
We go to the bottom of the 4th. Leading it off for the Bronx will be Alex Luce, Eli Bemis, and Caden Mings. Copper back to the hill for his fourth inning of work. Loose, his first time up, grounded into a fielder's choice.
For the Bronx, number 13, Alex Luce.
Loose bats from the right side. Takes the first pitch at the knees for strike one. The one pitch stayed high for ball one, 1-1 to count. Alex just stepped out of the way for ball two. Loose fouls that one off to the screen. And the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Due pitch way outside for ball 3. Count is full. Payoff pitch fouled off by Alex. Stays alive with the full count. High pop into right center field. Edelston over, reaches up and makes the grab for one away. Gonna bring up Eli Bemis. Bemis with the Bronx lone hit in the second inning. Eli fouls that one off for strike one. Caden Mings on deck. Eli leans out of the way for ball one. 1-1 to count to the Bronx right fielder. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Copper. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch. Just a little low, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the count goes full. Payoff pitch from Copper. Low and in the dirt. And Eli goes to first with the 1-out walk. That brings up Caden Mings.
Up next for the Bronx, number 26, Caden Mings.
Mings struck out his first time up. Caden fouls that one off the end of the bat for strike one. No one. Fouled off for strike two. And Mings down for the second time here today on strikes. And that's 2 away.
Up to bat number 4, Malachi Acevedo.
That'll bring up Malachi. Malachi was hit by a pitch his first time up. Swing and a miss for strike one. 0-1 count, ground ball. Shortstop on the short hop will beat Bemis to the bag for the out. Bemis out 6 unassisted for 3 away. And the Broncs go quietly in the fourth. No runs, no hits. They strand a base runner, and there were no Cimarron errors. Broncs have stranded base runners in every inning here this afternoon, and they trail at 4-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. Bodie McCormick back to the hill for inning number 5. Bodie's given up 4 runs on just 2 hits. His only struggle so far was the 3 runs Cimarron scored in the 3rd inning. Both batters that led off that inning with walks, both of them scored. Bodie with 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. And he'll face Leighton Simon, Peyton Dye, and Breck Aberhoff. And the first pitch back to the screen for ball 1. Fouled back and count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Line in the 1-1 is outside for ball 2. And that one misses for ball 3. Ground ball towards second. Patterson up, throws to first in time for the 4-3 put out. And that brings up Peyton Dye.
Up next, number 11, Peyton Dye.
Simon, before the ground out, had both of Cimarron's hits. Dye 0 for 2. Reached on an error by the center fielder in the 3rd inning. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Line shot towards short and under the glove into left field.
Up next,
That brings up Breck Aberhoff. Big lead at first by Peyton Dye. Bodie from the stretch takes a check of the runner. Throw to first. Dye back in time. Runner back. Batter squared to bunt. Takes it for a strike, and Dye was off on the play. He'll get the stolen base, and it's an 0-1 count to Aberhoff. One strike to count. Oliver Spencer on deck. Pitch at the knees for strike 2. Breaking pitch, grounded towards short. Throw to first in time for the out. 6-3 on the putout and now there's 2 away.
Number 5, Oliver Spencer.
And I know the conventional play on that one was to go to first base and the Bronx get the out. But with Armando that close to the runner that decided to take off to third, kind of surprising that they might not have tried that. But the runner's at third here with 2 outs. 0-1 to count to Oliver Spencer. Flared off the end of the bat out of play, and the count is 0-2. Bodie looks in. Here's the 0-2. Got him swinging. Adrian could go to first in time, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. 7th strikeout on the afternoon for Bodie McCormick. No runs on 1 hit. They strand a base runner, and no Bronc errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Bronx still trail it by the score of 4-0. And with that, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this.
When you choose a bank, you're investing your trust in a group of people who will be handling your hard-earned money. You look to them for expertise in financing your dream home and your teenager's first car, purchasing farm equipment, or expanding your business. At Kearney County Bank, we're invested in a community we believe in. Let us be your choice in community banking. Visit KearneyCountyBank.com or come by 221 North Main Street in Lakin or Garden City State Bank, a branch of the Kearney County Bank, 1910 East Marion, Garden City, and see what our staff can do for you. The Kearney County Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Blue Jays make a pitching change as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Coming over from shortstop will be Leighton Simon. Simon making his 7th appearance. He's yet to record a win or a loss. He comes in with a 4.45 ERA. Has struck out 7, walked 4, has given up 10 runs on 11 hits. Drew Patterson leads it off for the Bronx in the top of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bronx have stranded base runners in every inning. Simon starts off with a pitch inside for ball 1. Armando Salceda will follow, and he'll be followed by Adric. Out at the plate, count 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking pitch stayed high for ball 2. Two 1 pitch. Ground ball foul. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch inside and the count full. 3-2 to the Bronx leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th. And Drew reaches out and lines the 3-2 pitch up the middle for his first hit of the day. And that brings up Armando Salcido.
Next for the Bronx, number 1, Armando Salcido.
Armando takes high for ball 1. And takes high for ball 2. Simon checks the runner. The 2-0 pitch is outside, and the count goes 3-0. Patterson with a big lead at first base. 3-0 pitch. Armando taking all the way for a strike. Patterson back in safely. Armando has drawn 2 walks here. Patterson off. And it doesn't matter. Armando had walked for the 3rd time. Brings up Adric. Adric 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Bronx with runners at first and second, nobody out. First baseman in on the grass. Low and in the dirt for ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball towards center field. Heddleston back, makes the play. Patterson will tag and go to 3rd. Salcido stays at first base. That brings up Gabe Cox.
Next, number 5, Gabe Cox.
Cox 0 for 2. Bronx with a runner in scoring position now with 1 out in the inning. Low and in the dirt for ball 1. Salcido will take second on the wild pitch. One 0 pitch gives past the catcher. Patterson on his way up the line will score. And the Bronx are on the board. Armando goes to 3rd. And it's a 1-ball count, 2-ball count to Gabe Cox. Way outside for ball 3. And that's ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Gabe Cox brings up Eden White. And we've got a timeout on the field for a mound meeting. Bronx with a run across. You got runners at the corners.
Up to the Bronx, number 24, Eden White.
Eden had squared the bunt and took it on the shoulder. And that'll load the bases for Alex Luce.
Next to the plate, number 13, Alex Luce.
Alex 0 for 2, grounded into a fielder's choice. Flied out his last time up. Takes that one low and away for ball one. Strike on the outside corner. Count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Eli Bemis on deck. Bronx with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball foul up the right field line. And Alex down in the count 1-2. Leighton Simon, the 1-2 pitch. Got him looking on the inside corner, and that's out number 2 for Eli Bemis.
Up next, number 11, Eli Bemis.
Soft liner towards short, over to first, in time. And for the second time today, the Bronx leave them loaded. They do score a run. 1 run on 1 hit. They strand 3. And there were no Cimarron errors. After 5 complete, the score, Cimarron 4. And the Bronx 1. We're taking a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball on Bronx Sports YouTube.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
Schlesinger will lead it off for the Blue Jays in the 6th inning. Will be followed by Logan Heddleston and Zach Lopez. Cody McCormick back out for inning number 6. Eli Bemis trotting in. Drew Patterson going out and makes the play into shallow right field. And that's one away.
Up next, number 17, Logan Heddleston.
Heddleston now at the plate. 1 out. Heddleston 0 for 2. Takes that one high for ball 1. High fly ball into shallow right field. Bemis there to make the play for out number 2. And that brings up Lopez.
Up next, number 12, Zach Lopez.
Ground ball. Acevedo picks it up. Over to first in time. And a quick inning for the Bronx and Bodie McCormick. 5-3 on the putout. 4 pitches in that half inning. And the Bronx are out of it as we go to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, nobody left, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bronx trail it 4-1. We're back after this.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Caden Mings leads it off here in the 6th inning, and he lines it past the pitcher, and he'll be safe at first. Shortstop bobbled coming across.
Up next, number 4, Malachi Acevedo.
And a runner for Caden Mings.
Thank you.
Malachi Acevedo at the plate, swings and misses at the first pitch, and he is hit by a pitch for the second time today.
Up to the plate, number 2, Drew Patterson.
And for the second straight inning, the Bronx have their leadoff hitters aboard. 2 on now, nobody out for Drew Patterson. Patterson singled and scored the Bronx only run in the 5th inning. And that almost got him. He stepped out at the last second. 1-0 the count. Bronx have stranded 9 base runners today. They've left them loaded twice. Leighton Simon on the hill, and that pitch is high for ball 2. Armando Salcido on deck. Drew taking at the knees. Count 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bronx trail at 4-1. Line shot into left, and that'll advance the runners. And they are now loaded for Armando Salcedo. Second hit of the afternoon for Drew Patterson. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Armando looking for his first hit. He has walked 3 times. Fly ball to center field. Heddleston almost overran it, reaches up and makes the play. Armando flies out to center, gets the RBI on the out. Acevedo out 8-6. 8-1-6 for out number 2 for failing to tag at second base. Patterson on his way to second will steal it. The first pitch to Adric was in for a strike. Bronx do pick up a run, but they basically run themselves out of a bigger inning of what it could have been. Base hit here by Adric could score. That one low and away for ball 1. Gabe Cox on deck. 1-1 to count. Fly ball into left center field. Heddleston jumps to make the play once again. And that's it for the Bronx. They do pick up a run. So for the Bronx, they pick up 1 run on 1 hit. They leave a base runner, and there was 1 Cimarron error. At the end of 6, the Bronx trail it by the score of 4-2. We'll be back right after this.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Second baseman Colby Wilson leads it off for the Blue Jays in the top of the 7th inning. Blue Jays with 1 in the first, 3 in the 4th. They lead it 4-2 here in the top of the 7th. The Bronx have scored in their last 2 innings. Bronx have stranded 10 base runners today. 0-1 to count. That one over the head of Wilson. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike called on the outside corner. Here's the wind and the 1-2. Got him swinging. And that's out number 1.
Up next, number 1, Trace Copper.
Brings up Trace Copper. He's taking the first pitch at the knees for strike 1. Leighton Simon on deck. And that one's inside. Copper steps back out of the way as the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's outside for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Low and away for ball 3. Copper 0 for 2 with a walk. Scored a run. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Taking on the outside corner, and the count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch stays high for ball 4. Copper walks for the second time today. That brings up Leighton Simon.
Up next, number 25, Lakin Simon.
Simon 2 for 3. Has scored twice, driven in a run. Both hits are singles. Snap throw to first, almost got Copper. Copper has a big lead at first base. Throw to first once again. Bodie looks in, Copper on his way to second, and a fly ball to center field. Loose, drops it, and he threw it to the infield and nobody there.
Up next for the Blue Jays, number 11, Peyton Dye.
So the runners will be safe. You've got to be aware of where your defenders are at. Even if there's an error, you just don't throw to the infield because there was nobody home. Copper had turned to go back to first. The ball was dropped, so all you do is throw to second. You get the out. But instead, there's 2 runners on with 1 out. And 2 strikes to count to Peyton Dye. Bodie looks in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Adric did a nice job to keep the runners where they are. On 2 pitch. Fouled that one off his foot. Count remains 1-2. Outside. And the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch high, and the count is full, 3-2. High pop foul off first. Eden White over to the fence, and it's out of play. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch once again. And it's high and outside for ball 4. And that'll do it for Bodie McCormick with that walk. It loads the bases. But Bodie is at his pitch count. So with that, that'll bring out Caden Mings. Caden Mings will come on to pitch here in the 7th inning. With the bases loaded, 1 out. Grant Mendenhall goes to center field. So Caden Mings on in relief of Bodie McCormick, and it's easy to say that by far the best outing for Bodie McCormick this year. Sadly, he won't get a chance at the victory here. Trailing 4-2 and the bases loaded are his responsibility, but not necessarily all his responsibility. An error extended the inning. And it just always goes to show you in the world of sports, you can't give your opponents extra opportunities. So Caden Mings on in relief of Bodie. Mings is 1-0 on the season, making his 4th appearance. Mings has given up 12 runs, 10 of those earned on 14 hits in 5 2/3 innings. Has walked 8, struck out 7. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Brock Aberhoff at the plate for the Blue Jays. Mings will throw from the windup. Bases are loaded. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pitch is inside for ball 2. Eden White, the first baseman, on the grass, and that one's high for ball 3. And the 3-0 pitch is taken at the knees for strike 1. Aberhoff 0 for 1 with a walk and a sac fly, and he takes that one for ball 4. And he'll get an RBI with the bases loaded walk as Copper scores. Yeah, we don't have a name for number 3 that will pinch hit for Cimarron here. Slow roller to the mound. Mings will pick it up and go to first. 1-3 on the putout for out number 2 with an RBI. Simon scores on the play. Now runners at second and third. It's now 6-2 in favor of Cimarron. First pitch from Mings, high for ball 1. Low and away for ball 2. Schlesinger 0 for 3. He struck out twice. 2-0 count. Pitch upcoming from Mings. Swing and a miss. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. Two one pitch outside for ball 3. Line shot up the left field line. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And Schlesinger on his way to second with the 2-run double.
Up next for the Blue Jays, number 17, Logan Hiddleston.
Four runs have scored, making the score 8-2. As Hiddleston comes to the plate, Hiddleston 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Takes on the inside corner for ball 1. Ripped that one foul past the first base coach. Count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Mings' pitch over the head of the batter, first ball 2. Fly ball towards right. Eli over a step, makes the play. And that's 3 away, but the damage has been done. Blue Jays score 4 times on just 1 hit. They leave a base runner and 1 big Bronc error. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bronx trail it 8-2. Leighton Simon back to the hill. On in relief of starter Trace Copper. Coming to the plate for the Bronx in the bottom of the 7th will be Gabe Cox, Eden White, and Grant Mendenhall. Cox 0 for 2 with a walk.
Up first for the Bronx, number 5, Gabe Cox.
And a roller towards short. Shortstop up with it. And in time. Gabe Cox up the line, outruns the throw. And he leads it off with an infield single.
Up next, number 24, Eden White.
Brings up Eden White. White 0 for 1. Has struck out, has walked, and has been hit by a pitch. Line shot foul. Strike 1 to count. And a balk called. Gabe Cox goes to second. Count is 0-1. Swinging in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Ground ball past the pitcher, second baseman over, throw in time. And Gabe Cox goes to third on the play. 4-3 on the putout, and that's one away for Grant Mendenhall.
Up to the bat, number 0, Grant Mendenhall.
Mendenhall is batting .286 on the season. Swings and misses at that first offering. He's down in the count 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Outside, count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. And Mendenhall down in the count 1-2. Leighton Simon looks in and got him looking on the outside corner. And that's out number 2. Brings up Eli Bemis.
Up next, number 11,
Bemis 1 for 2 with a walk. Singled in the second. Grounded out in the fifth. Takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Bronx are down to their final out. Trailing 8-2. Outside for ball 2. Fouled it into the glove for strike 1. Count goes to 2-1. Caden Mings on deck. If Eli can keep this game live for the Bronx. Here's the 2-1 pitch inside, and it's 3-1. Pitch, high fly ball. Heddleston coming in and makes the catch for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Bronx. No runs. On one hit, they strand a base runner, and no Cimarron errors. Bronx lose it 8-2, and that snaps their 2-game winning streak. And the win for Cimarron snaps a 9-game losing streak for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays 8 runs on 4 hits. They strand 5 base runners. The Bronx 2 runs on 4 hits. They strand 11 base runners and commit 2 errors. The winning pitcher for Cimarron, Trace Copper, and the losing pitcher for the Bronx is Bodie McCormick. Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast here in game number 1. We're going to sign off. And those of you watching that want to see game number 2, you'll have to go onto our Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube channel and bring up game number 2. And with that, we will take her to the start of game number 2. I'm going to say in about 10 minutes, we should be back on the air with senior night and game number 2. Once again, the Bronx lose at 8-2. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with our second game. I want to thank everybody for joining me, and I want to thank all the great sponsors that make Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube possible. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So we'll talk to you in a few. Don't go away.